Hey there, welcome to the archives. I'm gonna go do a library book drop off, so I thought I would share some of the books that I've been reading here. I had a few picture books that looked at gender identity and how to explain gender to children. So, the one we read was Who Are You? The Kid's Guide to Gender Identity by Brook, Pessin-Whedbee, illustrated by Naomi Bardoff. And so basically, this book talks about different characters that are, just basically talks about how when babies are born, people ask, is it a boy or girl? And it just helps you to explain. It talks about like sex assigned at birth, is either male or female, but sometimes people get confused by their gender. But gender is much more than the body you were born with, is what it talks about. So it talks about personal expression, it talks about toys, dressing, how you dress, how you act, like you're free to express yourself. But it's all based on what you like and your preference, right? What do you like? What are you into? So this one was really good. I like that at the end of it, it has a guide. Um, Body identity, what I like, I am, I have. And so inside is just like a little expression wheel for kids. I think adults also really need this because we have a hard time with expressing it. And so it has different things like I like dresses, knee socks, shorts. I am not sure, just me. I am sometimes a girl, right? I have. And then it also has a little guide at the back, so I'm not supposed to show the inside. I'm so used to showing. I always want to share, but that's not how it works. At the back, it has a guide for grown-ups, right? Gender diversity is about human diversity. Ideally, before reading this book with the little person in your life, you would have laid a foundation for understanding and celebrating differences and individuality. This book is not meant to be a starting point, but rather a tool to delve deeper into a conversation that has already begun. Particularly if you're reading this with a class or a group of children, it is important to find age appropriate ways to discuss stereotyping and the boxes that exist for boys and girls. So it's not like, oh, they're just teaching kids. It's like you still have to be mindful that it's age appropriate, right? And so it goes through, it has some different resources. You could read It's Okay to Be Different by Todd Parr, which makes you, what makes you special and proud of yourself, which is for children age 3 to 8. It says you can watch a music video by Willow Smith, I Am Me by Willow Smith, or read Walter Dean Meyer's Looking Like Me to explore identity through song and poetry. So it has a bunch of resources for parents on how to have these conversations with your kid and what else you can read. There's a page by page guide to key concepts, right? So you might ask, do you know how many babies who have been born? What did people say about them? What have you heard the words male and female before? You might also point out it is important to be respectful when talking about bodies. This means not asking people about their body unless they tell you that they are comfortable with it, right? It talks about expressions. So you might ask, have the things you like changed since you were younger? Are there things you like sometimes, but not at other times? Have you ever heard someone talk about boy clothes or boy hair or boy colors or boy toys or girl clothes and boy hair or boy colors? What do you think? Right? So it talks about the gender wheel at the back. It has a body wheel, an identity wheel, and an expression wheel. Again, a lot of adults don't even know these things, right? It talks about gender diversity. So this is good. And then there's additional resources. There's different films. Barbara, Allie's Basketball Dress, Mary Hoffman, Amazing Grace. So there's a lot of different resources. So this one is Who Are You? I also read Jamie is Jamie. Jamie is Jamie a book about being yourself and playing your way. So it's a book about Jamie, and Jamie is just having fun with the kids in their class. Jamie helps, do different things that are gender roles. And at the end, when Jamie goes home, everybody's like, Jamie's a great girl. And he's like, no, Jamie's a boy. Jamie did this. And it's just like, Jamie is just Jamie. So basically, this one is by Afsaneh Moradian, and the illustrator is Maria Bogade. And at the same thing, at the back, it has tips for teachers, parents, and caregivers. So again, it doesn't just leave you hanging. It helps teachers and parents with how to have these conversations, age-appropriate conversations, right? Like, let children play freely. Keep in mind that toys have no gender. Let children try to work out their differences on their own. It's tempting to step in and try to organize games or solve small disputes, but when we do this, we deprive children of the chance to use their words and to react to children who think differently or want to do things differently. If two friends don't want to play the same game, watch from afar and see how they can figure out a compromise. And then provide children with creative playing materials, right? So for example, a child might decide that building blocks can be used to build towers in cities one day, then decide the blocks are guests at a tea party the next day, right? There is no way to correct way to play with it. And it says talk with children about play. So we need to have conversations about play with children. Talking helps negate outdated ideas about how kids can play or about what girls can do and what boys can do. Talking also assures children that playtime is truly their time and that they can have a say in how it's spent, right? So this book offers a great opportunity to ask questions of children. Is there anything they feel they can't play or they don't want to play? Why or why not? Will they want to try new games like Jamie does? By finding out what children are thinking, we can begin a conversation to help open their minds. So I really like taking a look at these books because I'm like making a list of books that I would want to have for myself, for my own kids. And finally, I also read A House for Everybody. A House for Everybody by Joe Hirst, illustrated again by Naomi Bardoff. So Naomi Bardoff illustrated these two books. And again, this is also a book about how to have conversations around gender identity. There's Aria. Hi, Ari. Ari usually doesn't come in the videos. So this just talks about a group of friends that are building a house outside, and they all have different genders, right? So Ivy is a girl. She likes to keep her hair really short, and her favorite clothes are shorts and a t-shirt, and she doesn't like to wear dresses, right? You have Alex is a boy. Alex doesn't feel like just a boy or just a girl. Alex is being comfortable called Alex, right? Sam is a boy, and Sam likes to wear their hair long. I misgendered when I was reading this. I have to be honest. I saw Jackson in a dress, and I was like, she, and I'm like, oh no, this is the whole point, right? Just because, again, clothes are for everybody. Dresses are not just for girls. Clothes are for everybody. We can all wear the clothes that we like, and even I got caught up in it. I saw the character because it said we will need. Hold on. Jackson is very, very strong, and I was like, oh no, not the strong black girl, black woman archetype, but Jackson's not even a girl. So like I got caught up in that, right? Which is what these books are really good for young readers. We'll give her some privacy. So this is about gender identity. Same thing at the back. It has notes for grown-ups, right? So it helps the adults how to have conversations, supporting the children. It has different definitions. So gender identity is how you feel inside about whether you are a boy or a girl sometimes. Gender expression is how you express yourself on the outside. Transgender is someone who does not identify with the gender they were assigned at birth. Non-binary is someone who does not identify exclusively as male or female. Some transgender children identify as non-binary. The character Alex in this book is non-binary. Talks about cisgender, anyone who identifies as the gender they were assigned at birth. And then it has lesson plans, toys and games, how to have these discussions, right? has how to have a discussion around hair, discussion around clothes. It also gives you further reading, and it has more resources. So this one is A House for Everybody. And then I also just finished Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I think I shared this before. Ashley Heron Blake. I just read this. This one was really good too. It's a YA young adult novel, contemporary. It's really good. It just basically talks about a lesbian young woman who is she's a photographer. Her stepsister is getting married, and she's going to be the photographer for the wedding. Her and her sister have a contentious relationship because it's her stepsister and her stepmom. They don't really get along, but her stepsister's getting married, so she has to go back to their hometown where she was raised, and she ends up having feelings for her sister's best friend. And so really good book. It talks about, complicated family dynamics. She basically was an orphan and raised by her stepmother, who didn't really treat her the best. So yes, that was Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I had to rush to read this because there's 9 more people behind me, so I had to finish this. So yeah, those are some of the books that I've been reading here around gender identity, and how to have those conversations, as well as LGBTQ YA, contemporary YA. So that's all for today. Until next time, in solidarity.